in the aftermath of Kamala Harris's electoral loss to Donald Trump, there are people who have been calling for Joe Biden to step down in these final few months of his presidency and make Kamala Harris president so that she can still be the first Black woman president, so that she can still experience the presidency, among other reasons. I saw a commentator, political commentator, an attorney, and a friend of mine, Jamal Simmons, make that very claim on CNN. And I am baffled by the number of people, shocked by the number of people who believe that Joe Biden should step down so that Kamala can at least be president until January. Here's what I say. Hell no. If you're Joe Biden, you don't do it because you're president. You took an oath and people voted for you. And you don't just hand the job over to someone else just because it'd be cool if they had to experience it. No, that's not. You have a vice president in case of emergency, in case you die, in case you're incapacitated, in case you're unable to do it. Not because you want to just pass the baton on and get somebody into the president's club. That's ridiculous. And if I'm Joe Biden, I don't do that. If I were going to do that as Joe Biden, I would have done it before the election. Right? I would have done it back in August and let Kamala Harris strategically have the title of president, make her an official incumbent. That could have been interesting, but it still would have been a terrible idea for the reason I just said. But if I'm Joe Biden, I'm not going to resign from the presidency right now. Joe Biden ain't doing it because it would hurt his legacy. He wants to be seen as somebody who actually had a full term. Resigning puts you in a historical category. You become an asterisk as a president who didn't finish their term. That's different than anybody can not run for re-election, but not finishing your term is silly. For those of you who are Kamala supporters or even Kamala stans who want this to happen, why? Why do you think that she deserves to be president when she didn't win the election? Nobody deserves that. This isn't a diss against Kamala Harris. I'm saying nobody deserves that. You know, should Al Gore have been able to just kind of be president for a few weeks? Should Bill Clinton just made him president? Y'all are turning Kamala Harris into a Make-A-Wish kid. No disrespect to the Make-A-Wish kids. I love them. But you get my point. Like, you're making her a sympathy case, and we should get it. And this idea that she just deserves it. Why does she just deserve it? She did not win. And if you look at what the Biden administration has done, particularly in the midst of a genocide, it's sort of tough to say that they've earned it. And it's not going to do the country any different because Kamala Harris had 107, 108 days to show that she's different than Biden, and she's didn't separate herself. So that doesn't make sense. So it doesn't get us a victory. It doesn't make the policy world any better. It doesn't help Joe Biden. And honestly, I don't think it helps Kamala Harris. I think it's patronizing. And some of us, some of y'all are so obsessed with having the first Black this and the first Black that and the first woman this and the first woman that. Identity politics is silliness. We need an actual political agenda that liberates us. So if Kamala Harris gets to get sworn in on that oath, on that Bible, and she's now the 47th president of the United States, it doesn't help America, doesn't help poor people, doesn't help Black people, doesn't help children in Lebanon or Gaza or Uganda or Haiti. And I'm not sure it helps Kamala Harris. I mean, she gets to be president, say she was former president for the rest of her life, but like, again, she's not entitled to it. She's not owed it. And I don't think Kamala Harris would want it, frankly. If Joe Biden couldn't do the job, I'm sure she would step up willingly, but I don't even think she wants to be patronized in that way. The only good reason for doing it might be that Donald Trump probably has a whole bunch of number 47 stuff made, t-shirts, jewelry, all this stuff. And for it to all go to waste because he's now number 48, that'd be funny. But inconveniencing Donald Trump for me isn't worth disrupting democracy or reinforcing a thin politics of representation that's not connected to any real radical imagination. So, nah, Biden shouldn't step down and make Kamala Harris president just because that's silly.